Morning, futures traders. I have chosen to come on early this morning because I wanted to show you how well this planning played out and how patience will pay off if you are willing to see it through. As a playbook mentioned to you for the last few days was the significance of the 3890, 3897 area. And you can see overnight they sat down there for a really long time, and there was no reason not to be patient enough to wait for this opportunity. Unfortunately, they started to climb early and before the opening bell. I don't chase. I prefer to get the location from where I want it, and you can see it took off, and it basically came up from 3906, and it just made its way up. Eventually, you got this power surge right in here, right at the opening bell. There's not much you can do. It just takes off, and I had nothing at 3906 outside of really nothing, period. And it just went, and you can see where the market stalled right here. This is a 50 MA right in here, and you can see it a stall. And again, they rolled from here, and you can see how hard. I mean, they meandered. There was no really truth feel here, and then they just came in with the volume, slammed them down here, and it's a setup because it came right back down to 3906 again, right where it opened up at, and it held, and then another power, a volume surge came in to push it, and these are really difficult trades unless you're playing off this area. I'm not, and it's, this is some trend traders might want to take advantage of, but this is a 1 minute bar, and it shows you how powerful this move is. So by the time you're getting an opportunity, there's no pullback. It's already reverse almost 10 handles off of location. They're just not worth going into it. Now you're buying into where all the resistance is, the 50 AMA, and then it meandered, and then it finally popped. And this isn't a location that I would have liked. But once again, it's about me waiting for what works for me. I like to see it go through the price, and my pivot was at 36. This system had it at 33. Everybody's different. It all depends on the high-low settlement that you use. And you can see it double top the 35. I didn't get my location. I was waiting for it, and then it turned. And you could react to this one and get on board. You have to be aggressive, and by the time you get a crack at it, it's already at 29.30, and it's just getting away. The train's pulling away. I didn't go for it again. I just, once again, it's about patience. And I watched all of this roll. That you can see the failure right here from the 50, and then the playbook trade, and this is textbook. This price pinched S1 by a tick. This is a classic reversal trade to the upside. This is what I emphasize in both my videos, and yeah, for sure, I've been waiting. This took almost an hour and a half before I even got a trade on, and I took this trade. I bought 4 contracts down here, and I scaled in and out. I took some off at '06 because, or '05, '06 because I wanted to see how it played off of that. And then the rest was just following the market. And I just took locations as they provided it to me. And I took them up as high as 39.20. And I'm sitting on one lot contract. I took one at 12, one at 20. And now I'm going to just play out the last contract and maybe see if I can get it at the pivot. In fact, if we get one more power surge, you can see that the market's kind of stalling yet again at the 200. I mean, I'm sorry, at the 50 MA. So, this is kind of an inside morning, but this one really traded out wonderfully towards the location. And this is why I talk about it in my analysis. So this is the 10th of January. This is MR Strategies, guys, and this was a session that really played out well. And usually when you get an inside day, you'll get these opportunities. The whole idea of what I'm trying to share with you, with any of you future traders or future traders, is what you're doing by looking at the game this way is you're playing parameters, and they're extreme because this is the new market. This is how things have been playing, and it's being driven by greed and fear. And that's why the opportunities continue to play out for you if you're willing to put the time into it. And it's not always going to come to you like you want it to, but if you just know this, you're prepared for it. And this is how you play off it. And this is when you look at these moving averages, basically what they're telling it's kind of like the mean price of all this volatility, kind of telling you that the power of control is always going to come within this area. This is where all the volume in a trade is coming. So price, no matter if it extends to the higher extreme or to the lower extreme, is going to find its way into the mean. And these are the locations you really, I mean, this is kind of the line in the sand. 3,900, we talked about it. And yeah, obviously this morning they're held thus far. So, that's probably a good indication for this market to maybe continue to keep pulling up and see whether or not we get a march into this trend line up in here and into these resistance levels and whether or not we break out and go to 4,000. I don't know. I think a lot rides on the CPI. You can see we're probably going to be in a wedge the rest of the week unless this market decides to take off. I don't really know. But this played out really nicely. It's what type of trader you want to be, what you're looking for, and some more people just like to trade every turn and look for one or the two handle profit, and that's okay. That if that works for you, that's great. As long as you're successful, as long as you're consistent. I'm about the locations because of the higher probabilities of the success from these locations and how I can also limit my risk. And there's always a possibility that they'll roll back down and make a new low. But I'm following momentum and I'm following what the institutions are doing as well. And they're seeing it the same way. They want it down here, and they did. And you can just see the end result. Now we're in a stall period. I have a trailing stop on my remaining contract. It's the home run trade. I get it, I get it, I don't. I have an 08 sell stop, and that's fine by me. They punch